So I'm making pizza, and here we are finally in part 4 with everything ready to go. And in part 1 I talked about tools and oven preparation, and I have all my tools ready and I have the oven prepared. The temperature in the center of the oven floor is just where I like it, around 750 Fahrenheit. That's about 400 degrees centigrade. And the floor is nice and clean, ready for the pizzas. In part 2, I showed you the dough that I like to make, and that's here in the proofing tray, ready to be shaped. Then in part 3, I showed you how I like to set up my pizza station with all the toppings and ingredients that are popular with my family and friends, and that's all laid out, ready to be put on my pizzas. So now that I have everything ready, I'm ready to make some. When building your pizza, you can build it directly on your work surface, and then once all the toppings are ready, then drag it onto your peel. I much prefer to build my pizzas directly on my peel, so the first thing I'm going to do is dust it with some semolina flour. Dusting your peel with either semolina or regular flour will help your pizza easily slide off once you put it in the oven. So I'm going to remove my first piece of dough from my proofing tray. I'm going to do that by throwing a little flour on the edge that I'm going to use my dough scraper on. So I'm going to drop my piece of dough into my flour, make sure it's coated on both sides, and then put it on my work surface, bottom side down, and just gently flatten it out a little bit. There are several different ways of shaping pizza, and this is the method that I use. And the two things I'm going to use to do that are my hands. I'm going to use gravity. Using my fingers, I'm going to gently shape the outer circle that's going to be my crust. Then pick up one edge, lay the pizza over my hand, and flip and rotate it back and forth a few times. Then using the back of my hands, I begin rotating and stretching it along the edge, letting gravity do most of the work. I'll keep moving the dough so the stretch is even, and because the dough has a strong structure, it shouldn't tear. Depending on the size you want to make your pizza, as it stretches, the dough inside the rim will become almost transparent. When it's about the same width as my peel, I'll lay it down, then it's ready to add my toppings. So I'm going to start with everybody's favorite, a margherita. I'll begin by spreading over some of my tomato sauce. And then top that with some pieces of mozzarella. You could put the basil on the margherita now, but I prefer to put it on when it comes out of the oven. And then drizzle over some olive oil. This is ready to go in the oven, and it's going to take no more than 2 minutes to cook. So I think it's useful to know how all that heat works inside the oven, so you have a better understanding of how your pizza cooks once it's in there. So first there's the conduction heat. That's the heat in the floor of the oven that's going to come in direct contact with your pizza. That's going to cook the bottom and give it that lovely speckled crust. Next there's the radiant heat. That's the heat from the fire to the side, the flame roll from above, and the heat stored in the dome. That's going to cook the top and the sides of your pizza. But even with all that heat going on, you can't just put your pizza in the oven and leave it alone while it cooks. So you need to keep an eye on it, especially that side that's facing the fire, because if you just leave it alone, that side will burn before the other side is cooked. So you need to rotate your pizza when it's in the oven. Once that side facing the fire has gone a beautiful golden brown and speckled with dark spots, you need to slip your peel under one edge and then rotate that side away from the fire. Then keep rotating your pizza until it appears cooked all the way around. Then remove it from the oven place it on a pizza tray, then finish it with any additional toppings you are planning and serve. So that's how I prepare and make pizza for the wood-fired oven. And I hope you've enjoyed these 4 installments. Making pizza is a lot of fun, especially when you have everything prepared. I'd love to hear about your pizza experiences. Thanks for watching. Speckles are on the bottom. You're cooking the bottom of your pizza. Are you questioning me?
I thought you were talking about the speckles on the...
No. All right, so
Sorry.
I spent a lot of time writing this script.